go to Haridwar tomorrow to address the Madan Mohan Malviya 150th anniversary function. So the only way I can do is if I can take an early flight and then in the morning take the Shatabdi to Haridwar. So it is that's the reason why I will briefly mention what this 2G case status is now, and then then the proceeding will continue till 6 o'clock. I would like to thank you because your attendance, your willing attendance of your own expense to come all this distance has inspired me. I think now we can really think of a big Twitter force and use the medium to change the way people think. So, first of all, congratulations to all of you and keep paying. Thank you. See, the 2G, first of all, understand what the crime is. I think all of you may know what 2G, 1G, and 3G is. If there's anyone who doesn't know, I'll explain it, because even the Prime Minister was asked what is 2G, he said Sonia Ji and Rahul. So, if there's anyone who doesn't know what 2G is, and 1G is, and 3G is, everyone seems to know. Very good. So, this 2G was originally, for the first time, licenses were given in 2001. And at that time, the NDA government decided to auction. And in the auction, the price turned out to be 1650 crores for per megahertz. So the price was at that time market price of that. But then the number of mobile phones was only 4 million. In 2008, the number of mobile phones has increased to 700 million. And therefore, the demand for spectrum was enormous. In 2001, very few companies applied, and all of them who applied got it. In 2008, there were 575 applications. And therefore, instead of giving everybody some little amount of spectrum, Mr. Raja decided that because two of his real estate friends who were giving him a lot of money when he was environment minister, Swan Telecom and Unitech, somehow they must get the license. So he did all this hera-pheri about first come, first served, etc. But that was only a procedural crime. The real crime was, number one, he fixed the price in 2008 at 2001 level. That means a factor of 10. So if you had, I mean, this is my estimate of the market price based on what people paid after those who got the license sold it to foreign companies. So, for instance, Swan sold its license to Etisalat and sold it at 8 times the price. Same thing with Unitech, they sold it to Telenor at 8 times the price. So if you were to take, alright, if you sell it 8 times the price, they have to make a profit, you have to make a profit. So let's say 10 times is about correct. So if you look at the revenue that we got and multiply it by 10, then you see how much you lost. It is quite correct that the CAG said that is 1,76,000 as a conservative estimate. It could be more. In fact, the CAG says it could be as high as 4 lakh crores. So this is the first part of the crime, that you fixed arbitrarily the price of 2001. The second part of the crime is that there was a lock-in period, that is, once you got the license, you could sell it for 3 years, and you allowed them to sell it within 3 months. And these two companies have nothing, the Swan and Unitech have nothing but spectrum. And if somebody was ready to pay to buy your company, then obviously they must be for the spectrum they bought it. And so therefore you enable Swan and Telecom to earn a huge profit, paid 1650 crores to the government and realized 14,500 crores by selling the license. So that was the crime. The Prevention of Corruption Act says it's not necessary that you should receive a bribe to be accused. If you have enabled somebody else to make a unjust profit, and that is not in the public interest, then also it's a crime. So that's called criminal misconduct. And so Raja was then accused by the CBI for criminal conduct. In their charge sheet, of course I had mine, I was the first one. The CBI didn't want to do it till I wanted to do the act. So first charge that has been framed against Raja is that you deliberately chose the price of 1650 of 2001 when you knew very well there was plenty of evidence that the market was much higher. Everybody said so, and you sold it at this low price for no reason whatsoever. Even after the Prime Minister gave you a friendly advice that you should auction it, and you disregarded it. The second charge that has been framed is that you permitted two companies, in fact he permitted all the companies thereafter, but they didn't sell the entire company. The two companies, Son and Telecom, sold their controlling shares to Etisalat and Telecom. So this is the second charge against them. I have, by calling all my friends here and there, put together the bribe number. The bribe number is about 60,000 crores. The loss is 1,76,000 crores had we auctioned it, but the bribe that was paid by these companies was 60,000 crores. Some companies did not sell the entire license, entire company, without the controlling interest, like Tata didn't sell. They sold Docomo to Docomo, but less than half. And consequently, because there was an established company, they got 13 times what they paid the government of India. So therefore, these two charges were 60,000 crores, and I roughly found out from here and there, because I'm also a Tamil, so I have friends who have friends of Raja, and so here and there talking to Raja's wife, sometimes Kanimori. These I have plenty of contacts, and therefore I came to realize that Raja kept only 4,000 crores for himself. What is 4,000 crores nowadays? So he got 4,000 crores. Then he gave Chidambaram 5,000 crores and complained to Neera Radia on the phone that this man still wants more money. So that I have not yet brought on record, because Neera Radia matter is a very dangerous matter, because it gets a lot of people into trouble, including people in the opposition. Let me tell you that also within the four walls. But anyway, Chidambaram got 5,000 crores. Karunanidhi got 16,000 crores. Understandable. That means 4 by 9 and then 24,000, and then 36,000 crores is what Sonia Gandhi got. So this is what my intelligence tells me. Now, how do I go about establishing that? For that, I am right now not interested. I am interested in catching them on the misconduct. So here I found, why did Raja give Chidambaram 5,000 crores? That's how my mind went to Chidambaram. And then I found that in 2003, when India was in power, there was a cabinet resolution saying that this is a technical subject, so no need for it to come to cabinet. Let two ministers decide, and that will be the cabinet decision. Finance Minister and Telecom Minister. In 2008, it was Chidambaram, and it was this gentleman, Raja. So I started hunting for records to see whether the two ever met together and discussed the matter, because everything was Raja. So I found all the documents missing, all the files missing. But then, I, being a minister, I knew one thing, and that was that every file is in two parts. One is called current file and the other is note file. Am I right? So that note file contains everything. Current file only contains what the minister signed, etc. The current file was missing. So I said, that means the note file is somewhere. Some bureaucrat must have quietly put it somewhere. And the next result is that enabled me to get the files. I got most of the files, but there was one file which the CBI was holding on tight, and that was something I wanted to see. And that, fortunately, for the first time in the history of India, a court ordered CBI to give their investigating file to me to see. So once I got the file, it was complete. I found, number one, that right through the beginning till Raja gave the letter of intent, Chidambaram was apprised by the officials that this is wrong, should intervene, so on. And Chidambaram, after Raja, he didn't listen to their officers. After Raja gave the letter of intent, wrote to the Prime Minister, now let it be a closed chapter. So that means Chidambaram was a participant. Then I found on 30th January, Chidambaram and Raja meet together and minutes are maintained. I got the minutes also of that meeting. And they together, there Chidambaram tells his officers who point out to him that he should now argue with Raja to raise the price because it's only a letter of intent, it's not a license. And so at this stage it can be revised. Letter of intent is like just an intention to give you a license, but the license is to be given later, end of February, so he rejected it. He said, no, I don't plan to revisit this matter again. So please don't. So he was told his officers. So then the officers continued to write to him to change his thing, because Chidambaram had the authority under the Constitution. There's a rule framed under the Constitution, under Article 77A, that it's called Transaction of Business Rules, how ministers should conduct affairs. And there it says that if a minister is not satisfied with the decision, then he can call for a full cabinet meeting. So he had the power, did not do it. So that clinched it. And finally, the Prime Minister, I don't know what happened to him one day, maybe to save his own skin. He came on the floor of Parliament on 24th February 2011 and he said, people are all accusing me of not intervening in the price fixing. So how could I do it? The Indian government had authorized Chidambaram, the Finance Minister and the Telecom Minister to do it. And both came and informed me that we have together come to a conclusion. And then I found another letter that Chidambaram had written to Raja saying, listen, this is May brother, you and I have to decide this finally. And without my signature, the document will not be valid. So please let us meet together and decide and go and report to the Prime Minister. So on 4th July 2008, they met the Prime Minister, informed him, and that is it. So if Raja is guilty of fixing a low price, Chidambaram is as guilty. There is no escape at all. And all that I was trying to do is call some witnesses from the Finance Ministry to prove my documents. But the judge was in such a good mood, he said, why? You want witnesses and it take more time? Just authenticate it, get it authenticated, and then we'll go straight to the argument why Chidambaram should go to jail. So that's the second point is this, that these two companies are allowed to sell their this spectrum license within 3 months, when the rule was 3 years. How did that happen? So there, in the file that I got from the CBI, I found there was a note that Raja wrote that I also thought, he's writing a note for the department, I also thought within 3 years you can't sell. But then Chidambaram educated me. And what did he educate? He said, Chidambaram told me it is true that you cannot sell the license within 3 years. But you can sell the company, and if the license goes with it, how are you responsible? So as this clever lawyer is a crook, he's outsmarted himself. So it's there in the file. So it is Chidambaram who made Raja sell these two companies. I can understand that one of the companies is Anil Afghani and Chidambaram is a great chela of Anil Afghani. So it's done there. But there's a third thing, that there's a Home Ministry report which says that there are two companies who are trying to enter India. and they should not be allowed under any circumstance, and blacklisted them. What is the name? Eti Salat, which got the license from Swan. And why? Because Eti Salat is a ISI controlled company and its local agent here, Shahid Balbaz, is a right-hand man of Dawood Ibrahim. This is the Home Ministry report. And then it says that Telenor is a Norwegian company, but all its equipment is Chinese, and it has dual purpose. It can do cyber warfare. And so if they put up all this equipment here, in the time of a war, they can make our defense computers go hut, can make them fail. So Chidambaram is not only guilty of the two charges Raja is, but also a third charge of betraying our national security. And all is documented. In fact, when I argued in the Supreme Court had given this Home Ministry report to CBI, give us a report on it. They have not given yet. And CBI says, well, you see, all our promotions are dependent on Mr. Chidambaram. You remove him and then we'll cook his goose. We'll be totally with you. But till that time, we can't do anything. Our career will be finished. We are in the final stages of our career. So the CBI is defending. But I don't need the CBI. Because under Section 5 of the Prevention of Corruption Act, the complainant, this is again something that is unheard of anywhere in the world. The complainant can be deemed to be a public prosecutor by the judge if he so wishes. And the judge has appointed me as a public prosecutor in my own case. So I'm running a separate case. I'm not running it very fast. I'm watching what the CBI is doing. The CBI leaves out anybody, I put them in my case. So both together we cover it. So what will happen is that in the next 4 or 5 days, I will get all these documents authenticated. Most of the ministers of this government are supporting me on Chidambaram privately. They all hate him. All journalists hate him. Huh?
Except Sonia.
Sonia is not a minister.
Super Prime Minister.
So, she's the final sanctioning authority. So therefore, this is the thing today, it's, and there are ministers who have also come and spoken to me, can you not make up with Chidambaram and all that, after all this will upset the government may fall, all that. Because Chidambaram was the money launderer for Sonia Gandhi and her sisters. So Chidambaram goes there afraid that he may spill the beans. So therefore, because he is not a very strong man, he is just a bully. No bully is ever strong. So that is the reason why so much fight is being put up. But the case is watertight. The documents are thorough. All that remains is my proving that what is called this mohar, that this is true copy. That's all, and I will get it. I am 100% certain. I wouldn't have come for this conference if I was not sure that I can get it in the next 3-4 days. And once I get that, I will argue in court that I have proved prima facie. By the way, at this stage, I don't have to prove that he should be convicted. I don't have to go that far. I have to show that there is something which needs explanation. And I have already done that 10 times over. So on the 7th, I will argue that summons should be issued to him. I may also argue that warrant should be issued. And the judge could on that day, thinking this is a very important case, reserve the orders and deliver it. He'll give a date. He's not going to give just reserve orders without a date. And then on the next date, he will probably give a long reasoned order, which is what he has been doing so far. So look forward to the 27th, but don't be too disappointed that it wasn't decided that day. But it will be, if you don't decide that, it will be decided before Makar Sankranti. So you can have your Pongal and he will send him some Pongal in Tihar. I was surprised that journalists are all supporting me in this. Of course, they can't do anything about it. I said, why? They showed me SMSs he sends them. He uses filthy language, 4-letter words. threatened them, how you put out by in this 5 p.m. I think he must have the officers watching every news bulletin. So you send this in 5 p.m. bulletin. If by 6 p.m. this is not taken off, see what happens to you. I mean, I'm putting it in civilized language, he puts it in much cruder language. I can't believe it, but I saw it with my own eyes, these SMSs from Chidambaram. I know the phone number is Chidambaram's phone number. So, therefore, here we have what is called as the tipping point of the case. If I am successful, as I am expecting to be on Chidambaram, then the road to Sonia is only a short road. Don't ask me what proof I have got with Sonia, I'm not going to tell you just now. but my committee people know that I have written a letter to the CBI giving the name of the account, a bank in which Rahul Gandhi has an account. And how do I know this? This is the name he gave to the FBI when he was caught in Boston airport as to how he had 1,60,000 crores. I found that bank had $189 million. And so, these people, they were never last very long. And but I have to go systematically. I'm not going to be railroaded. I'm not going to do what Charan Singh did with Indira Gandhi and made a fiasco of the whole thing. So therefore, this case is on course, and I think we will be very shortly seeing a major turn taking place. This is what I want to say, and I have to now. Judge O.P. Sain is okay. We don't doubt everybody unless you get proof to the contrary. No. He's okay. All judges are okay. Till proved otherwise. Supreme Court case is on CBI inquiry. Now I won't need it. Maybe the judges thought that's not going to happen. So they don't have to give a judgment. Now I don't need the CBI. I've already reached the stage